Back on pitch side, and it was a day that was dominated by the England batsmen. Lots and lots of runs being scored overall in this test match. Pakistan made 556 in their first innings, and in response, England, they were quite on top, courtesy that wonderful 100 by Joe Root. He's amongst the records galore as well, the highest scorer in tests for England, and then contributions from Harry Brook, who loves to score in Pakistan. 141 not out for him, and then Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley amongst the runs. England now trailing just by 64 runs. Well, what a wonderful day for England overall. They capitalized on the conditions here, and now in terms of the trail, it's only 64. So tomorrow's day is going to be rather interesting in how this test match turns around. But I've got a very, very special guest here with me who really set the tone at the top. Zach Crawley joins us on pitch side alongside David Gower. David, firstly, great day for England overall, you know, just exactly what they wanted, coming in, getting as close to Pakistan as possible, and not to forget Joe Root's special moment, you know, him becoming the highest run getter for England in tests.
Yeah, there's a lot to admire from this man. We'll talk about him in a moment. But from the two who've made hundreds today, the way they've played, kept the run rate up throughout the day. I mean, Joe Root's records, we will hear a lot about over the next 24 hours, the celebrations, you know, the new milestones he's reached. But it's the way they play. I mean, yes, it's a very good pitch. It's a very good pitch for batting on. You know, Pakistan ran out of ideas relatively quickly. But to keep, well, the fitness is one thing, of course, it's all the cramps, but to keep the stroke making going like this, and to watch and admire the slightly different techniques. I mean, Joe is more classical than, say, Harry Brook is. But the ingenuity that Brook brings to the crease, and again, this man brings to the crease as well, means that you're always going to put bowlers under pressure. Now, even though we accept there's a very strong balance in favour of the batsman, has been for 3 days on this pitch, even if you accept that, it's still a question of how hard you make it for bowlers, and England have that knack.
Absolutely, they made it look easy, Zach. Of course, you set the tone at the top for England, but just a word on Joe Root as well, because he's definitely the story of the day. You've watched him in the dressing room, played with him as well, all these accomplishments and achievements over the years. What a story he has been for England cricket.
Unbelievable story, yeah. I admired Joe massively even before I came into the team. I came into the team in 2019, and even by then he was an England great. And then, you know, in the last 5 years, he's just built on that, and he's certainly the best player I've ever played with, and he might be the best player I've ever seen. You know, the way he effortlessly scores runs consistently in all conditions. Yeah, I admire him greatly, and he's still got a lot left in the tank, I think.
Absolutely. Well, just in terms of what we required from England, then Pakistan made 556, and you know, England coming out and batting positively the way we saw from you as well. You know, you showed a lot of intent right at the start. I mean, was that the plan, you know, capitalizing on the conditions that you've got here?
Yeah, I think it's a really good pitch to bat on, and we're always trying to win the game, so we knew we had to score, you know, relatively quickly, but at the same time it was a good wicket, and the outfield actually got quicker throughout the game, so we didn't have to try too hard, and we felt like we could score quite quickly. And I feel like myself, Ducky and Brookie, probably more aggressive than Rooty, and Rooty kind of bats with us, but even he scores quite quickly as well. So no, it was a really good day for us.
I mean, not just Zach, you've also seen Harry Brook, and everybody's scoring at 5 and over. So it's very clear, David, from England that there's no such thing as scoring slowly, that we saw in the previous innings from Pakistan as well, that there was a time period when they were scoring at 2 and over. England is very clear with their intent and plans when it comes to batting, regardless of the conditions. And it's always this impetus that is required at the top that we saw from Zach. And then later on, the whole team sort of carried it through.
Yeah, I was going to ask Zach, because actually you're down a bit compared to the last tour, the first test match in Rawalpindi last time round. I mean, the scoring rates come down. But how much thought has gone into sort of the balance between remaining positive, you're playing this very positive brand of cricket, and then getting a little bit smarter with it over the last, say, year or so?
Yeah, there has been a bit of thought into that, and the smart is the right word. We don't want to lose aggression. We still want to be very, very positive, but it's just doing it in the right way. And I think Brookie and Rooty showed that right at the end there. It was pretty chanceless, wasn't it? They scored at 5 and over, like you say, but it wasn't like we were playing here last time, where I feel like we were actually chancing it a bit more. And against other teams, certainly we've hit balls in the air and we're dancing down the wicket a bit more, which was great to watch, and we loved playing in that. But I think we've definitely become more clinical and a bit smarter, and yeah, I think we're reaping the rewards of that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a great position.
It's absolutely a great position. I mean, just in terms of the plan then, have you had a talk with the team how long England is going to be batting, or is it just a case of looking at it session by session?
No, we're very present as a team. We don't look too far ahead. We'll congratulate Joe and Harry about the day they've just had, and then probably in the morning we'll discuss what we're going to do in the first session, and then at lunch we'll discuss after that, but we won't look too far ahead because, you know, things can change quite quickly out here. Maybe it'll start spinning and they bowl us out, or maybe it'll start reversing and they bowl us out, so you can't get too far ahead. But we're in a good position, and we'll look to kick on for most of tomorrow, I'd have thought. I
mean, our co-commentators who've seen Pakistan at close quarters for the last couple of years now are slightly worried about the third innings, where their figures are not great. So, I mean, it opens up a possibility either way, even if you stay level or if you get a big lead. It opens up possibilities, even though this pitch is still playing very, very well.
Absolutely, we'll try and win the game right to the last, the last breaths of the game. So that's the one thing we have spoken about, is where even when they were, I don't know what they were, 500 for 6 or whatever they were, or 7 at some point, we were saying we could still win this game, and we believe that. We feel like we're always in the game, and we will always try and win it, no matter what the position we're in. So certainly we'll be throwing some punches.
Indeed.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. We're not going to keep you here long. I'm sure you want to go and rest and unwind in the dressing room. Thank you so much for your thoughts, but you're going to stay here as we take. We're not letting you go anywhere, but we're going to take a short breather on pitch side. When we do come back, we'll have a closer look at what happened today. Back on pitch side, we've now been joined by Ramiz Raja. Ramiz, tough day for Pakistan. Overall, Pakistan bowlers struggled to take wickets. I mean, that's exactly what they needed if they wanted to get into a position of winning this test match. But that wasn't to be. Abrar Ahmed also struggling. So no real threat when it comes to their bowling as far as today is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, somebody really had to hold one end up, and Pakistan couldn't find any bowler who would do that. Great batting conditions. But you know, the fact is that Pakistan will be troubled not only by this bowling performance, but also with the way England have batted, and batted aggressively to put them in a corner when it comes to batting in the last innings on day 4, day 5 pitch, because of late their performance in the 4th and 5th day has been pretty diabolical, to say the least. So, I mean, that would be troubling Shan Masood. What now? I mean, how to drag yourself out of this situation, which has been a demoralizing situation, into something of a happy moment for them when they go out to bat again, because it's a matter of survival now. And very few teams can have that feeling after scoring almost 600 runs. You know, they scored 600 runs and still felt that they were behind 8 ball. That's quite a strange way of handling first innings mammoth score.
Yeah, look at it the other way just for a moment, if you can, which is this is the perfect chance to try and break that trend, to change that trend. But I understand your concerns because we've all seen the figures over the last sort of year or two, and some of the situations that Pakistan have got themselves into. But for Shan Masood, yes, you're absolutely right. He's whatever he says to that room. First of all, tomorrow there's more time in the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Secondly, when they get the chance to bat again, then the people who got runs in the first innings need to capitalise on that form, and the people that didn't need to make up for it.
The other point, David, is that, as we all know who've played the game, that to go out there with a draw mentality, looking to draw the game, because I think that's a decision that probably will be forced by England on Pakistan. If they get a lead of 150, 200 runs, is never an easy option, because you're looking to defend, and that can drag you into a negative spiral.
Yeah.
Well, before we get there, Pakistan still has to get England out. I mean, you're talking about very little help from this wicket. We've seen so many runs being put together by England and Pakistan. Just a quick look at how things look for England today. What a partnership it's been by Harry Brook and Joe Root right at the top. 176 is what Joe Root is on, and Harry Brook, like we said, he scored about 500 runs the last time he toured Pakistan, and he sort of started off from where he left, 141 today as well. And there wasn't any point where it looked like this partnership is going to be breaking. So fantastic moment for Joe Root when his record came through. David, I'm sure his family, his friends, and the whole of England cricket and all England fans will be extremely happy with this achievement.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a smattering of England fans here to watch it live. There'll be plenty watching at home on the television. There'll be millions of Joe Root admirers who kind of been waiting for the moment because there was a sense of inevitability about it and the way he plays, the fitness levels, his age. I mean, he's got plenty of runs left in him, but just in this year alone, I mean, the number of records he's slid past with graceful ease just pile up and up. I mean, test hundreds, test runs. It's an extraordinary career so far, and there are plenty of years left in it as well. I mentioned earlier on air that his brother Billy's getting married today as well, so the Root family will be certainly breaking out the champagne back in Wales, I think, where the marriage is, where the wedding is. There won't be any here because Joe still has work to be done. He still has things to do. But because this partnership is going so well, I mean, the great temptation to say, right, to the two of them, start again tomorrow morning, all being well without the cramps, pile it on, because the two ways are to get level, try and bowl Pakistan out and then chase something, or to go a long way ahead, which with the way the pitch is at the moment, I think going a long way ahead is probably just favourite.
Right. And you talk about Pakistan and their strategy, Ramiz. I mean, how should they regroup and come back tomorrow? It's important to discuss what their approach is going to be now.
I think it's imperative for Pakistan to have a good environment in the dugout, because you just can't go down on day 4 because there's still a lot of effort that is required. I think to delay the inevitable, ask Abrar to once again maybe bowl from round the stumps into the pads. He bowled reasonably well to control the flow of runs. And also for Shaheen Afridi and, the other pacers to come to terms with discipline. I think they showed promise. Naseem Shah definitely with the second new ball. But because England had the rhythm and the form, even the good balls were put away. So you've got to think positive. Somehow you've got to get a couple of wickets in the first session to make England sweat just a little bit and delay that effort to declare the innings.
From an England perspective then, David, they'd be looking to bat as long as they can. Like you said, sort of really get closer to that Pakistan total, which they certainly will, and then get a lead.
Well, I mean, the thing about England is that they're very good at pushing a game forward. And if you've got men in this sort of form on this sort of pitch, then you're in the perfect position to keep the game moving forward. You haven't got time to waste. Even though there's 2 clear days, we've seen the way the cricket is played in this part of the world and on pitches like this. So the quicker they can push the game forward, the better for them. Therefore, they can construct a position with a big lead. Even then, I mean, the odds are, you should say, that Pakistan with their batting, the pitch I don't think is going to break up. It's not going to crumble. So even then, Pakistan have to just steel themselves and make sure no disasters occur, just to keep Ramiz, calm. But the big lead possibilities, I think, is still the best way for England.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts, David and Ramiz. And there you heard it. It's going to be an interesting day's play tomorrow. Day 4 is going to be crucial with regards to this test match, and it will indicate where things are headed in this particular first test match that we have. Tomorrow, our coverage starts at 9:25 a.m. and we'll be coming live from Multan Cricket Stadium. Well, fantastic day for England. They definitely dominated all the proceedings, and there's plenty of action lined up for you tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us.